Hello friends, my name is Soham and today I am going to introduce a new thing which you might have not seen till date. Types of micrometers. Yes, you have heard about micrometers. There are varieties of micrometers in the market. But today I am going to introduce 25 different types of micrometer. Each and every micrometer will be having different application and different use. So before I start my video, I would just like to introduce my channel. It is Wise Purpose. Wise Purpose is generally a platform where industry people are going to share their knowledge and experience with the students of mechanical engineering. So in the future you will get some interesting videos in which industry people will be coming and sharing their knowledge, experience, their mistakes in life that they have done, and it will be a new revolution with the students who are fresh and expecting to come in the industry, because industry people will directly train them. This is going to be a new thing for students and those who are existing in the industry. So let's begin with my video. It is types of micrometers, 25 micrometers in one video. So let's begin. So as I have told you that 25 micrometers will be shown to you in this video. The beginning will be the simple micrometer that everybody would have seen, and it is not going to video how to use a micrometer because it is very commonly seen everywhere. But today I am going to show you the varieties of micrometers. The first micrometer is a simple micrometer that we have seen. Simple micrometer is generally 0.01 mm least count, and we are also getting it in 0.001 mm, that is 1 micron. We are also getting in inch, that is 1 thou is also available with a least count of 1 thou. So here in the screen you are you can see two different micrometers. One is 1 micron and the other is 10 microns. You know the application of micrometers. This simple micrometer can measure outside diameters. This is known as outside micrometer, and the range of this micrometer is 25 mm. We are getting it in 0 to 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 75, likewise 25 mm gap. We are also getting it in a complete range of 0 to 150 that I will show you in the next slides. So let us continue with the second type. The second one is counter micrometer. Counter micrometer is generally a micrometer which is having a counter, which we have seen in our vehicles. It is we don't have to check it in the thimble. It is just like shown in the type where you can just see what exactly the reading is. Its range, its least count is 0.01 mm. You are getting it in 0.001 also, but generally 0.01 is enough for everybody. So this is counter micrometer. The third, the interesting one and the latest one is digital micrometer. Now it is not latest, but yes, it is having 0.001, that is 1 micron least count, and in this you are getting two different types. The one that you are seeing in the left hand is digital micrometer with digital unit and analog unit also. It is a combined. If sometime in future something happens and digital display does not work, you can work it with the analog type also. And the second one is digital micrometer only. In digital micrometer, what exactly happens, you can use it with one hand. It is a one hand operation, and in the ratchet that is given is on the nearest to your thumb, so you can use it in one hand and the other hand will be having your job. So it is a one hand operation. It is very interesting, and the thimble directly goes inside the ratchet. It will not go beyond that limit, so you can use it with one hand only. It is very interesting and useful instrument. In this slide you are seeing 4 different types of micrometers. These are all the snap micrometers. Generally micrometer is used to take measurements which is very precise and accurate. We can use vernier also to measure outside diameter, but micrometers are used to take precise measurement. But what happens, we have a bulk of job, and we have to measure each and every job very fast. So in that case you have to use snap micrometer. Snap micrometer is generally like a snap gauge, but in this you are getting an indicator also, which you have to preset. and after making it preset of a particular size, you have to see the first one is a dial snap micrometer. In that, the on the right hand side you are seeing a thimble of micrometer, in the left hand side you are getting a dial indicator. So the dial indicator will be connected with the movable part of the micrometer sorry, and the right hand side will be the fixed part of the micrometer. In this type of micrometer, generally what happens when the job is placed inside the two parts, that is the thimble and the movable part, and you will get the reading with on the dial. What happens, you have to set the micrometer with the slip gauge, and once the master slip gauge, with the help of slip gauge you have to set it once, and if and make it 0 in the dial, and then you have to place your job inside that portion, and you will get the deflection in the dial. What exactly the difference is, if the master is of 25 mm, 0 in the dial, and the job that we are placing is 25.1 or 2 or 0102, you will definitely see in the dial that this is the deflection as compared to the master. The other two types are also same. These are having bottom, where you are getting a stopper. So if in case you have to measure single type of job multiple time, what exactly you have to arrange a stopper, so that every time it does not get ups or downs. It will stay at the same position. It will not be up or down. So we are getting stopper. It is movable. You can reduce it or you can increase it. I mean, you can make it up or down. So the stopper facility is also available. And the fourth one that you are seeing in the blue color is snap micrometer spring loaded. It is a kind of micrometer which is spring loaded. You just need to up and down, so that human pressure does not occur, and you will get fast result and accurate result. The least count of these micrometers are 1 micron and 10 microns. The next micrometer that you are seeing in the screen is disc micrometer. My friend, disc micrometers are also available in two different types. The first type is disc movable, and the second type is disc not movable. What exactly the difference is? In the first type, if you are moving the thimble, the disc will also rotate. It is a rotating and non-rotating. The first type is disc is also rotating, and the second type disc will be steady, and the thimble will go outside and inside. So what happens in some cases when you are measuring some gears or something which is like cotton, what happens if the gear is also, if the disc is also moving, it will having some chances of displacement, or it will move ahead. So you will not get exact result. Or in case of cotton or something like that, it will rotate with the disc, and you will not get exact result. So in those cases, you have to use a micrometer which disc is steady and only the thimble is moving inside and outside. It is a very interesting micrometer. The application is also shown in the display. It is available in simple and digital both. The next micrometer that we are seeing is screw thread micrometer. Screw thread micrometer is generally available, common, and what happens that micrometer is same, but the anvils are changed according to the requirement of screws, because screws are available in different sizes of threads, and it is like TPI, thread per inch, it varies. So company is giving varieties of anvils in which is different and inch are also available. So in this two anvils are of different type. The first anvil that is placed on the right hand side will be a V shape, and the one which is on left hand side will be a sharp edge. So what happens, generally threadings are like this. You will have to make it on the one side it is V anvil, and the second side it will be sharp edge, so you can get exact diameter of the thread. It is a very useful instrument in different industry. Next micrometer that you can see in the screen is point micrometer. What exactly point micrometer is? Generally the micrometer is having flat surface, but in this the sharp surfaces are given. It is pointed. Pointed micrometers are of two types, 30 degree and 45 degree. Generally, what happens in some cases where you are in the video, in the screen also you can see that a job which is having a surface which is very narrow, and you have to go inside that portion and measure the diameter or the length. So what happens in that case, you have to use a point edge micrometer, which will be helpful to you in exactly measuring that portion and accuracy also. So according to the requirement, you can choose 45 degree or 30 degree and get the exact result. This is spline micrometer. What is the difference between a spline micrometer and point micrometer? Generally, spline, you can see in the presentation that there is a job which is having flat surface inside the groove, and you are measuring that portion. But if you are using a point micrometer, the taper will not allow you to measure those things, that diameter. So you have to specifically use a spline micrometer so that you can get the exact diameter, and the flat surface will be attached with the flat part of the micrometer. You will get very good result. Interesting and very useful blade micrometer. Generally, we are having grooves in the job, so groove verniers are available. But what happens if you are getting if you are asked to get a good accuracy in microns, you have to compulsorily go for a groove micrometer. So I mean blade micrometer. Blade micrometer goes inside the groove, which is having very low space, and you have to get inside that groove and measure the diameter of the sleeve or job, anything that you have. So blade micrometer is having different types, but the thickness of micrometer is around 0.8 0.9 mm, so it is very thin. It is mentioned in the catalog also. Every catalog would be having the thickness of that blade, but it is really an interesting instrument, so you can use it while measuring the grooves diameter. This is also a very new and really important instrument, spherical anvil tube micrometer. See what happens generally while measuring outside diameters, the flat surface is useful, but in some cases where you have to measure only the periphery, I mean the wall thickness of the job, this micrometer will be helpful. So if there is a pipe of bigger diameter or smaller diameter, you have to go inside the pipe and measure the wall thickness of that pipe. So this micrometer will help you to measure the wall thickness. It will directly be in touch with the wall of that, I mean in the radius, it will be directly in the touch, and you will get the exact wall thickness, and there will not be any gap between the surface and the job profile. So you will get very good result while using this spherical anvil tube micrometer. This is also a tube micrometer, but here you are getting specifically very small space and a small diameter, that is 1.5 or 2 mm diameters, and you have to get inside. You will get that type of micrometer also. The tube micrometer is also very useful and interesting instrument. So we should prefer a tube micrometer while measuring the wall thickness of small tubes or pipes. It is having a least count of 10 microns, and 1 micron is also available. The next micrometer is crimp height micrometer. It is very unique and very less used instrument, but it is really important for those who are in electric cable industry. I mean those who are manufacturing crimps, which is generally used in motors or vehicles. Their crimp, if you can see in the presentation, the crimp is one side straight and the one side is flat. So what happens, the flat portion, that is the sharp portion, will hold the crimp, and the other portion, that is very point type, will get into that crimp and will give you the exact diameter, the length of that crimp. You can see in the presentation, it is very clearly shown in the display. This is one of the best instrument that is used and very rare instrument, groove micrometer. See, generally that blade micrometer was used to measure the diameter of the groove, But in some cases where we have to measure the width of groove, that is the width of groove is generally measured with this kind of groove micrometers only. The range of this micrometer start from 3 mm or 4 mm and goes up to 25 mm. So the groove width that we have to measure, which is inside or outside the job, you can measure it with this micrometer. It is clearly shown in the display that you can measure the width of the groove very easily with the micrometers. This all types of micrometers are available in the vernier also, but micrometer is generally used to measure precise measurement. Gear tooth micrometer. See, gear is the most important part of our industry. Without gear, anything cannot move. So gear is a very important part. But while using a gear, you have to specifically measure the gear pitch circle diameter, that is a PCD. And the PCD very precisely is generally measured with this kind of micrometer, gear tooth micrometer. As you can see in the presentation, that there is a micrometer with balls. Balls are outside in the tip. So these balls are coming in different diameters. So according to the job pitch, I mean the gear pitch, you have to choose the diameter of that pins, and it varies according to the PCD. So it is an interchangeable gear tooth micrometer, and all the types of tips are available with the micrometer. Very interesting and very useful micrometer. Again, an interesting micrometer. This is V-anvil micrometer. V-anvil micrometer is generally available in 2 to 3 different types, where it is having different flange. Yes, what happens generally when we are using a micrometer to measure a straight diameter, you can measure it with any micrometer. But in some cases where there is a flange, I mean there is somewhere a gap between two flanges, and you have to measure the exact diameter, you have to go for this V-anvil. So in that case where there is some gap between two flanges, depends on the gap that is there, and you have to choose the flange accordingly. It is available in 45 degree and 30 degree. So 5 flutes, 7 flutes, or maybe 3 flutes also, but generally 5 and 7 flutes are available. So in those 5 and 7 flutes, you can measure different types of flanges and get exact result. We have tried to cover the maximum micrometers that are available in the market, and that was the new one that you can see in the screen is sheet metal micrometer. Sheet metal micrometer, what exactly this means? Generally what happens, the sheets are available in the market, and we have to measure the thickness of that sheet with the help of micrometer. But these are the two micrometers that are seen in this display. The first one is having a vernier, that is it is the thimble is on the top. So if you are measuring it like this, so you have to see from the top the micrometer's scale, that the thimble is on that vertical portion and not the horizontal portion. So in the vertical portion you can see what exactly the diameter is, and you can get you don't have to see, you have to move your face. And the second one is sheet micrometer, which is having a very big frame, so you can get inside the job the maximum that you can. It is around 110-120 mm long. The frame will go inside that portion and will get the result to the deep part of that sheet. So very important and useful instrument for those who are in the sheet industry and want to measure different kind of thicknesses. Hub micrometer. Hub micrometer, as you can see in the display, it is very shallow type of micrometer. So what happens, generally we have to go inside some shallow or small diameters and measure the wall thickness of that part. So this hub micrometer will help us to measure that area, and you will get exact result from a very small hole. It is also used as a wire micrometer, where the wires will be measured. Small wires diameter are measured with the hub micrometer, and you will get a very good result while measuring a wire. Hub micrometer is also very new and latest micrometers. The next micrometer is inside micrometer. Inside diameters are also measured with the micrometer. So there are two types of inside micrometer, the fixed and interchangeable. The fixed one is that you can see in the left hand side of the screen. It is a fixed. It is available from 5 mm to 30 mm, 25 to 50, 50 to 75, and so on up to 300. At the same time, where you want to measure different micrometers at different diameters with the same micrometer, an interchangeable inside tubular micrometer is also available. So in one micrometer you will get a range of 50 mm up to 3000 mm. Yes, up to 3000 mm interchangeable micrometers are available. So its range starts from 50 mm to 300, 50 to 500, 50 to 1000, then 1000 to 2000, 2000 to 3000. Likewise, it is not like 50 to 3000, but it changes after 1000, it goes 1000, 2000, 2000, 3000. So this kind of micrometers are also used to measure the inside diameter precisely. The next thing that you have seen is outside micrometer with big range. My friend, you might not have heard, but people in this world are making a micrometer of 6000 to 7000 mm range. Yes, 7000 mm, a micrometer of a big room type. Big diameters of different windmills or different types of big diameters are measured with this kind of micrometer. A single person cannot use it. You have to have more than 3 to 4 people to handle this micrometer, and I have placed the image of that person who is using a table to measure, to use a micrometer or to measure a job. The left hand side, this is interchangeable micrometers where the range start from 0 to 150, 150 to 300, 300 to 400, and likewise 100 mm gap. This micrometer is generally used to check different diameters in the same micrometer. You just need to change the masterpiece, make it 0, and start measurement. It is generally useful to those people who don't want to gather different types of micrometer in his store and want to use only one micrometer, store one micrometer and measure all the diameters of 0 to 150 mm or 150 to 300 mm. It is also very interesting instrument. This is really a new and you might have never seen this micrometer. This is limit micrometer. Limit micrometer, what happens generally when we are checking gauge with go and no go. This is a kind of go and no go micrometer. In this, the first portion is go and the second portion is no go. That means you have to set your go no go according to your requirement, so you don't have to spend amount for different size of gauges. In one micrometer only you can set different sizes as per your requirement and make your micrometer as a go no go gauge. Very interesting, very useful micrometer, money saving micrometer. You can see in the image that there is a job measured. In this, the first portion is having different. The first portion is having a diameter which is set as x diameter, and the second one is x plus 1. So maybe the tolerance is 0.1 or 0.01, does not matter, but you will definitely use this kind of micrometer instead of go no go gauge. One more interesting micrometer, can seam micrometer. What is the use of can seam micrometer? You can see in the image also, but in some cases where the seam is also equally important because it should not leak. Yes, in the can, you can see the cans of Coca-Cola, Sprite and everything. Every brand would be using this can seam micrometers because it should not get leaked while supplying. It should have perfectly it should have perfectly bent so that it does not get open in transportation or while using it. So can seam micrometer is used to measure the seam, the banded portion of that can, and it will help you to reduce the material usage. So what happens generally, while bending, it should not bend it more, and the in mass production they are calculating this small things also and reduce their cost. This is a commonly used micrometer, depth micrometer. Depth vernier can also measure depth. Depth vernier can also measure depth. Depth micrometer is also available to measure depth in very precise manner. Depth micrometer is generally available in 0 to 25 mm, 25 to 50 mm, 0 to 25, 0 to 50, and so on. This micrometer is having different anvils also. You can interchange the anvils. In this image that you can see on the top, it is measuring the depth, and the second one they are changing the anvils. So what happens, while changing the anvil, you have to carefully change it. It should get inside exactly, it should rest at the perfect position. Then only you will get exact result, and you have to make it zero with the help of a slip gauge, or if you are making a 0 to 25, then you can make it 0 in a surface plate only. You can get a good result, and 0 0, and you have to place it very carefully. Both the hands should be tight while making it 0, so that you will make it 0 and measurement will be done properly. Vernier type micrometer. Very new and interesting instrument, vernier type micrometer. In some cases where the job's diameter is inside and you are not able to measure it with the regular micrometer, this image is clearly showing that the place where the micrometer is having limitation and it cannot go beyond that part, and the job diameter is somewhere inside the job. So this kind of vernier micrometer will go inside that portion and can measure this part easily and accurately. So vernier micrometer is also an interesting and new instrument for you. This is a snap micrometer that we have seen before also, but it is inbuilt dial indicator. In this snap micrometer, the dial indicator is inbuilt, so you don't have to attach a separate diameter. This diameter is having 1 micron least count, and very interesting, very useful micrometers for those who are having precise job and want to measure continuously. So this is for those who are having those who are in the field of gauges, fixtures, and maybe those people who are having a different application in different diameters but precise in microns. So this is it, 25, maybe you have seen more than 25 instruments, but yes, 25 different types of micrometers are shown to you, and you might have seen something different in this video. So I thank you all for watching this video, and I would request you to share this video with your friends and industry people who are completely unaware about this kind of micrometers, and it will be helpful to them also. My name is Soham, and this is first video that we are showing to you, but different types of videos will be available to you in this channel. So please subscribe this channel and move on with us in the mechanical field. Thank you so much.